Hi guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm doing another Top 5 Wednesday. As always, the Goodreads group is in the description below. This week's topic is our gateway books to our favorite genre. So for me, that is science fiction and fantasy kind of combined. My favorite books have elements of both. So if you haven't read a lot of science fiction and fantasy, these are good places to start, I think, anyway. They're pretty much my favorites. When it comes to science fiction and fantasy, though, I have been exposed to it pretty much since birth. My dad was a huge science fiction nerd, and I grew up with Star Trek and Star Wars, and Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Quantum Leap. I think these are good introductions, is basically what I'm saying, but I'm not even sure because that's just been my life, has been this world. So the first book I have, which I'm not even counting because I always talk about it, is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling, the entire Harry Potter series. These are children's fiction books, or at least the first one's children's. The older ones kind of get into YA stuff. But this follows the adventures of Harry Potter, who is a boy wizard, and as he starts going to magic school called Hogwarts. And I love it. It's a children's book, so it's easily accessible to anyone. It's also very popular with adults and teens, so even if you're not a child, you can still read Harry Potter and thoroughly enjoy the adventures of the boy wizard and fighting the Dark Lord Voldemort. And it's just epic and amazing, and I love the whole world here and how deeply J.K. Rowling, how much detail is in this world, and it's just fantastic. Next on my list, I have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This edition also has Through the Looking Glass. These stories follow Alice as she goes through a rabbit hole and is transported to Wonderland, which is this fantasy world where mostly it's games come to life. So they get attacked by playing cards that are soldiers, and the Queen of Hearts is this evil ruler who's trying to kill her. And Through the Looking Glass, chess pieces come to life, and it's just absurd, fantastical, really fun world. And I love it terribly. So this is a children's book, so I think it's also a good introduction. So it doesn't matter whether you're an adult or a child, you could still get into these fantasy worlds. Progressing to more adult stuff, although I obsessively read this book as a child, is Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I went through a period in late elementary school, middle school, where I just read all the classic science fiction I could get a hands on. Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, Robert Louis Stevenson, just anything, and this is my favorite. So in this book, Professor Lidenbrock leads an expedition to the center of the Earth. They get there through these tunnels in a cavern, and once they get down there, they find prehistoric beasts and animals and plants that don't exist on the surface anymore. There's dinosaur creatures in here. I don't remember if they're actually dinosaurs or they're just evolved from dinosaurs, but I loved this idea that if I could dig far enough, I could find the right cave, I could find dinosaurs. This is definitely a more scientific book, but it's still got these fantastical elements about what's down there, what's in the center of the Earth. If it weren't just molten rock, that would kill you. So next up, I have The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. This book also has War of the Worlds, which is another great introduction to science fiction. So in The Time Machine, we have the scientist who creates the time machine, and he goes to the future. I think he goes to the past, maybe, but I definitely remember this future and this utopian world that he travels to. And I love that, fantastic, this combination of science and fantasy. Building the right machine could lead you to this incredibly awesome world. And in War of the Worlds, we have aliens fighting humans, an alien invasion, which is also amazing. So. Oh, great. Lightning. I picked the perfect time to film. Scoot away from the window. The next book on my list is The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. I really love the Discworld novels and how absurd they are and fun and crazy. So Terry Pratchett's Discworld is this flat universe that is this satirical look at our own. So there are like witches, and he messes with like he plays with like our belief systems, and I can't describe Discworld properly, but it's fantastic and amazing, and you should check this out. Color of Magic is actually Terry Pratchett's first Discworld novel, which is why I picked it, and it has this character that travels to the big city for the first time, and so he's seeing all the crazy insanity that's happening in the main city for the first time. I love how complicated this world is and also how crazy it is, and it's fun to just laugh at the absurdity of life. And my last pick is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I'm not sure the universe agrees. So in this story, we have Arthur Dent, who is a typical British man going about his normal life. On the day that he finds out his house is going to get bulldozed, his best friend comes over and is like, "Hey, don't worry about your house getting destroyed, because actually the whole Earth is going to get destroyed to make way for an interstellar highway." So Arthur and his best friend Ford end up hitchhiking across the galaxy, and I love humor, so I love all the crazy things that happen. It's in space. I love the aliens, and it's lots and lots of fun. So those are my top picks for gateway books into science fiction and fantasy. Most of them have movies, and they're very... all of them? Yeah, there's a Color of Magic movie. All of these books have movies. They're kind of big deals. They're well known, which I think works well if you're like going into something you don't really know about. If maybe you've heard about it before, maybe like you'll give it a try. Like the first time I went to see Harry Potter, I didn't know what it was about, but I knew that it was a big deal, so I went and saw the movie for that. But these are also some of my favorite books, and I love them all dearly. So totally, you guys should go check them out and read them. And I tried to pick different areas of science fiction and fantasy too. Space travel, time travel, aliens, fantasy worlds, whatever. Yeah, so peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.